What is going on, my fellow vegans? This is Luis Medrano, and this is another episode of the Fit Foodie Podcast, a place for plant-based foodies that want to lose weight, feel great, and elevate their lives. Guys, thank you so much for joining me again on this live. It is a beautiful Thursday, finishing up another week of teaching, and yeah, feeling great, feeling excited, feeling motivated, feeling good in the classroom. Honestly, my energy's been pretty good in the classroom teaching my students, and I'm happy to be here on this live showing up for you guys. So today's topic is you can still succeed in fitness being unmotivated. If you're feeling unmotivated, you can still succeed. And I'm going to tell you how and the key mindset shift that you need to apply if you've ever struggled in the past with reaching your fitness goal, reaching a weight loss goal, and you fell off because of lack of motivation. And if that has been the primary reason why you've been unable to hit your goals in the past and lose the weight once and for all, and you have been unmotivated because of that, then I'm going to tell you how you could shift that and still succeed, still reach your goals, even though you're feeling unmotivated. And before we get to that, I just want to share that I'm excited that this podcast is up and running, up and going, and this is episode number 16 now. And I'm just happy to be on this Fit Foodie podcast, showing up for you guys and providing this value. Hopefully, that in these episodes that you're finding that what I share is valuable and you can actually use it. This is all about actionable items, and in this live, I'm going to share with you guys how you can still be unmotivated and still achieve your fitness goals. And I'm going to give you some actionable items on what you can do to make that happen. Things that you can act on now and take action on to make sure that you hit those goals, you reach your fitness goals, and then you continue to grow from there. So first things first, guys. Before we even get into being unmotivated and how you can still be successful with lack of motivation, is number one, guys, is you always got to keep in mind that consistency is always going to trump everything. It's always going to be the key, right? Consistency is what's going to get you to any of your goals, really. And it is just a key, showing up every day, doing something every day, no matter how small, showing up and putting in the work, even if it's a small step and a minor step. It's better than just falling off for days and weeks and just kind of dropping off and forgetting about it. So consistency is number one above all. Now, with that said, even if you're consistent, even if you're showing up every day, there will be days when you just don't feel like it. You're feeling unmotivated. And maybe, like I said, maybe for you, that has been the case in the past where you didn't accomplish your fitness goal, you didn't reach your weight loss goal because you felt unmotivated and you felt a lack of motivation. And the key here is you can be unmotivated but disciplined at the same time, because you can still show up, you can still do something, even though you're unmotivated. Now, being unmotivated and disciplined at the same time, even though that sounds like, how can you be motivated and disciplined at the same time? It can happen because you can feel unmotivated to do something and still do it. If you really wanted it that bad, if you really want it bad enough, you would still do it, even though you feel low motivation, right? You could probably think of situations in your life, maybe if you have kids or a pet or if something came up where you had to care for them, and you just felt like it was a crappy day and your motivation was low. There was something where you need to show up for those important people in your lives. You would figure out a way, even though you felt lack of motivation, and that is because you are disciplined to do that thing, to be the best parent that you can be, or the best whatever it is that you're doing that you can be, right? So the combination to keep in mind here and the mindset shift that's going to make the difference for you in this situation is that to be unmotivated yet disciplined is what's going to take you to your goal, right? So that's the key. Because to be unmotivated and undisciplined, you ain't going anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere. And that's probably if it's ever happened to you in the past when you didn't reach your fitness goal because of lack of motivation, it was more so a combination of lack of motivation and being undisciplined. That's what it was. Because if you have discipline, you can be unmotivated and still move forward towards your fitness goal. So that's the combination, guys, and that's the key. That's what it comes down to. It's all about having that discipline while being unmotivated. And you'll find that if you're consistent and you take action and you do something every day that's going to move you closer to your fitness goal, that you'll build on that. And even on the days when you're feeling low motivation, you will do something that's going to get you one step closer. And it's if you failed in the past and you haven't been able to reach your fitness goal, is because the combination of unmotivation, low motivation, and lack of discipline. That's what it is. Because if you had discipline, you could be unmotivated and still do the work, still put in something, right? And that's the key. Now, I want to go over really quick, guys, the 3 action steps that you can do to make sure that you make progress, to make sure that you're moving forward every single day, even in those days when you feel unmotivated, right? And let's jump right into it, guys. So, number 1 is create simple routines. I'm not talking about flipping your life upside down and just changing your everything around. Just create simple routines around things that you know are going to get you closer to your goal. So if your goal, let's say, is to lose 10 pounds, and you know that you should be walking every day, and you know that you should be, at least doing a little bit of meal prep during the week, or maybe you want to go to exercise 3 times a week, whatever the case may be for you, build a simple routine that you can implement every day. Maybe it's going for a walk for 20 minutes every day as part of your morning routine. Maybe you have set days during the week when you know you can get a good 30-minute workout, something that's going to be doable for you. So action step number 1 is create simple routines in your life, guys. Keep it simple, keep it easy, because there's really only a few things that if you do every day are going to get you closer to your fitness goal, to your weight loss goal, and getting to where you want to be, right? So even though you're unmotivated, even with lack of motivation, discipline is what's going to get you over the hurdle, right? You can be unmotivated, but if you're disciplined, you will do something and you will take the action every single day if it's that important to you, right? So step 1 is create simple routines. The second step that I am huge on and that I share every week in my stories is, and I show you how I do it, is track your progress, track those little things that make the biggest difference in order to make progress and in order to build momentum. Track, guys. Track your stuff. It makes a huge difference, guys. And for me, the five basics, and I say this over and over again, the 5 fundamentals that are going to move you forward are your nutrition, your training, your sleep, your steps, and your mindset, right? Those are the 5 things that I track every single week and that I highly recommend if you want to make progress that you track in your fitness journey. Now, you want to track to build momentum and to overcome the hurdle of if you've ever struggled with lack of motivation in the past. And I never reached my fitness goal because I wasn't motivated. I didn't have the motivation. It wasn't that. It was because you were unmotivated and not disciplined. Both of those combined is what caused you to not reach your fitness goal in the past, or to yo-yo diet, or to continue in that weight that you don't want to be in, right? But if you're unmotivated and you're able to be disciplined, then it's okay to be unmotivated, because as long as you have discipline, you'll be consistent and you'll take some action every day. So action step 2 is track to build momentum, and you'll see huge gains, right? Big difference. And it's also motivating. It's cool to see how you're doing and the successes you're seeing in the little things, right? When you're tracking and you're seeing those little check marks, or you're putting an X on the day that you did it or whatever, it feels good to see that, and to see that you got 3 days in a row, 7 days in a row, 15 days in a row, or whatever the case may be. But it's nice to see when you track it, it builds momentum and keeps you going, right? And the last thing is just to understand, the last step, guys, is just to understand that there are going to be days when you just don't have the motivation. You just don't have the motivation to want to do it, and that's okay. That's completely normal. Maybe you had a crappy day at work, or something happened that just kind of threw your energy off and you're not feeling it that day, and that's okay. You got to understand that those days are going to come and that's going to happen. But again, can you do something, no matter how small? Can you go for a 5-minute walk? Can you have a healthy smoothie or a healthy breakfast? Maybe it wasn't part of your meal plan. Maybe you didn't eat everything you wanted to eat that day, but you did something, right? Maybe you meant to get 10,000 steps, but you only did 5 that day. That's better than nothing, right? Just so understand that you are going to have those days when you don't feel like it, but you just got to make something happen, do one step, right? So guys, let's recap 3 action steps that you can do. Number 1, in order to have that In order to feel unmotivated and still be able to make progress, number one is to create simple routines, simple things, action steps that you can do every day that are going to move you closer to getting that body that you want, to losing the weight, to getting fit, to changing your body composition, to feeling more energized in the morning, right? Small steps, create simple routines that you can do. Number two, action step number two is to track to build momentum. This is my favorite one because when you track your progress, you get to celebrate your wins, but also get huge progress being made. So track to build momentum and track to keep on going. And then lastly, number three is understand that there are going to be days. There will be days when you simply don't feel like it, and just understand that that's going to be part of the process. You're not going to just be on fire every single day. There'll be days when you don't feel like it, and understand that that's fine. That's totally okay. And just do something, guys. Just do something. Remember, being unmotivated but disciplined is going to get you to where you need to go. Because as long as you have the discipline, you could be as unmotivated as heck, but you'll still do something because you're disciplined enough to do it. And in the past, when you haven't been able to achieve your goal because of lack of motivation, it's not that you were unmotivated, it's that you were unmotivated and not disciplined at the same time. That's why you didn't do it, right? So as long as you have discipline, you will be able to have those days when you're unmotivated, but still do something, right? And then lastly, guys, this is a big one, just to recap. Just remember that consistency is the key above everything else, guys. Above it all is being consistent and doing something every single day. And you will miss a day or two. I do it all the time. I reached my fitness goal and I'm going for another one right now. And it's a journey for me that I love, and I love to share and teach about it. But there's days when I miss it, and that's okay. It's okay. Understand that. Be as consistent as you possibly can. You want to do what you can most of the time. You want to be as best, you want to show up as your best self most of the time, right? There'll be those days when you just don't, it just didn't happen for you, and that's okay. Consistency, guys, is what's going to get you there. So just remember, you can be unmotivated and still reach your fitness goal as long as you're disciplined. That's the combination. Now, even better would be motivated and disciplined, because shoot, you'll be hitting your goals and your fitness goal and your weight loss goal and just being on fire all the time, right? So, and you'll have those days when you're motivated and disciplined, but just remember to keep the discipline as best as you can, because you will be unmotivated and still reach your fitness goal as long as you have that discipline to do something every day, guys. Something. You could do one thing, guys. The 5 basics that I preach and teach all the time that are going to get you to where you need to go. Forget about all this other stuff and hacks that you think you need to do and get on the treadmill for 2 hours and screw all that, right? It's all about nutrition, training, mindset, sleep, and the amount of steps you get every day. The basics, right? Guys, thank you so much. That's it. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of the Fit Foodie Podcast. This is the place for plant-based foodies that want to lose weight, feel great, and elevate their lives, guys. My name is Luis Medrano. I am head coach at Vegan Body Goals. Much love. Have a beautiful Thursday evening, and I'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace and love, guys.